Welcome back everybody to Empyrion Galactic Survival. I'm KnowItAllDM. How's everybody doing today? Today I'm showing off an update to my Star Salvage scenario. This update is update 0.5.0. We're halfway to 1.0, and I figured I'd go ahead and get to the 0.5 because I'm close to what I want as the final product. There's still some updates to put in there, still some modifications needing to be made, but in the meantime, we're going to go ahead and I'm going to show off the latest updates to the scenario. Alright, so the first major update in the scenario, or major part of it, is you'll notice that it said only 2 of 405 could not be placed. So what this means is that 2 of those, these 2 that it's listing, were not able to be placed, which isn't that big of a deal. Before it was saying something like 403 of 800 and something were unable to be placed, or 1,000 and something of 2,000 and something were unable to be placed, which means that the number of POIs is significantly reduced. However, it's not entirely that noticeable. As you will see on the map, the junkyards are just slightly more sparse. They're not all clumped all together, but they still have a good randomization of different types and everything. Another thing you'll notice is there are Zirax hover vessels on the planet, and those are a new addition that I have just added, which is a Zirax junk trawler, which are hover vessels that are, of course, owned by the Zirax, and there's one spawning in the distance. They are shielded hover vessels that are basically used by the Zirax to get around the planet and investigate and pick up different types of junk and such. Let me pull this up and bring in one of these. One third of the junk trawlers will be protected by either 1 or 2 drones, and they have a reserve of 1 drone, which means that 1 drone ought to come and replace those 2. Now, a lot of these junk trawlers will actually have Zirax protecting them. Let me see if I can find one that actually has Zirax protecting it. This would be what? Southwest-ish. And even more down this way. There it is, spawning in. Now this one's slightly under the ground a little bit. It ought to pop up, and it might even go flying. Pop, 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 up. But their design usually keeps them level when they come down. I don't see Zirax around this one. There are some raptors, but those are just wild raptors. Let's continue heading this direction and take a look at these other trawlers. See if I can find a junk trawler that has Zirax around it. Alright. Here is one that has some Zirax patrols guarding it, and it will have a combination of either these with the turret robots or the Ripper dogs, as you can see here. And it seems like this is the only one on the planet, or at least the only one I've found so far, that actually has them guarding it. But it's not that big a deal. Also, when you attack these, a troop transport does arrive and drop off troops, no matter which one you attack. So, that's another thing. So, this vehicle is modeled after the Jawa Sandcrawler. And as you can see, it's got narrow corridors, but it's, you know, it's usable by medium-sized or regular-sized people. Now it is a Zirax hover vessel, but they don't actually control it. So in order to actually take it out, you have to find the core, which I believe is in here. After you can take down, you have to take down the shields first. In order to do that, you actually have to shoot. And there's the core. I think I just died. You don't want to be that close when you take out the core. But as you can see, when you take out the core, it takes out a large number of devices and such as well. However, fortunately, none of them are extremely important because you've got backup generators and fuel tanks on either side. And what was in the middle of these two was detectors, and you can there's more detectors on this than you can imagine. You've got those two that were in there. In addition to that, all the way up at the top, you've got 2 more detectors inside here. They're inside those walls. And you've got yet another detector up here. So you don't have to replace them with detectors or anything. Looks like the troop transport is running away. But once you have taken out the shields and taken out the core, you can claim the sand crawler or the junk trawler and you know, use it as your own. Now the junk trawlers are unarmed, but they are basically giant mobile bases. They come equipped with, as you may have seen in my as I was going through, it's got a med bay back here. It's got a dining area in addition to a full dining area up here. It's got a lounge, like I said, the lounge down here, dining area up here, complete with food processing constructors. It's got engineering constructors down here. It's just a massive base. It can hold a lot of different types of cargo. 2,000. This one up here I think is the largest, 2,750. This one's 24. But it has a whole lot of different cargo boxes. Let's see, this container extension is here. That's a 29. Here's an 8,000 one. I think this may actually be the largest one. But you can replace any of these with the ammo boxes if you would like. Up here you've got your cockpit, and then there's an auxiliary cockpit back here, which has an auxiliary actual cockpit here for moving backwards. It's just got a whole bunch of, you know, utility stuff that you can use. The final bit of the update takes place in space. Now we're going to come into space and take a look around here, and on the map I think I can find carrier ghost ship. Okay, so that's what I thought it was. You can come out here. Now I had ghost ships on here in the past, and the ghost ships, let me just go ahead and put that back there. The ghost ships all had a like they were basically just, you could see them going around. They're mostly unarmed, and as you can see, here's a ghost ship right here. It doesn't shoot at you, and it's basically just a floating junk. Well, these ghost ships now actually have a purpose. Now I believe this one, we're gonna have to take out its thrusters, which are in the front. Up in here, just put in here to keep it, no? Somehow I got it to stay mobile. I think somewhere I've got thrusters. This thing has thrusters on it. There we go. Okay. Now that it has stopped moving, the ghost ships all now have a epic loot crate in it somewhere. Let's see. This one's, I think, is hidden. I hope I didn't blow it up. Only fat. Okay. That's weird. I don't know why it went that quickly and it just vanished like that, but it'll respawn eventually. But in any case, the ghost ships all have epic loot crates. I think that was the only ghost ship in this sector. Well, the ghost ships all have epic loot crates, and if you can find them quick enough and loot them, they will, you know, you can have epic loot. But in addition to those, there are still the regular Polaris that go around like normal. But I added epic loot to the ghost ships. I unfortunately did not get to show that off. But, yeah, I also added a new type of ghost ship based on the old Empyrion POI. It's a crashed ship type, and I think you can still find that crashed ship type rarely, but it's a large ship, and it's also armed, but it's got 3 epic loot crates in it. And so yeah, that's basically it for the update. That's the major points of the update. There've been a little bit of minor tweaks here and there, things that you wouldn't really notice, but yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this update. I hope you guys are enjoying the scenario. If you are, hit the like button on this video. And if you want to see more updates for Star Salvage, if you want to see more scenarios that are unique and interesting like Star Salvage, go ahead and hit that like button. Leave a comment down below if you have any concerns. Any comments, concerns, anything of that sort. And yeah, I hope to see you guys in the next one. As always, I'm KnowItAllDM, and y'all have a good day now.